Yeah. Welcome back everyone to another episode of The Road Chose Me. Today we're heading off to go and explore a remote island off the coast of Australia. And as you can see, there's a tropical storm coming in. We are expecting rain, waterfalls, crocodiles, and then probably more rain. Let's go for it. So here we are guys, we just got dropped off on Hinchinbrook Island and you can see this is all mangrovey behind me and no joke, there are crocodiles around. So it says attacks may cause injury or death. Yes, that's right, there's crocodiles around here, which I don't really know much about them other than I don't like them and I don't want to be near them. So here we go, let's go explore this island, see what we find. This is an entire national park. I think it's a UNESCO site, so it's extremely beautiful and wild. There's nothing here on the island except us now for the next few days. Here we go. I guess you know you've made it somewhere pretty tropical when there's palm trees on the beach and they actually have coconuts growing in them. You can see a bunch right there and they're all over the ground here. Lots of them are sprouting as well, which is cool to see. We didn't bring a machete or anything like that, but I can see if I've got some time on my hands, this will be a mission of mine. How am I going to break into a coconut? So we were told this hike would be different than anything we'd ever done before, and I never really know what that means, but now I guess I know what it means. This is actually really wild. We just suddenly turned into like a rock scramble getting up away from the crashing waves, and now we're up here on this big rocky outcropping looking out over the ocean, and we just continue here this way through this kind of like rocky jungly stuff. This is actually really wild. So we're just about at camp for the day, which would be nice to get the pack off. We have to cross this river. And so this hike, interestingly, it has a few river crossings. And of course, you've got to watch out for crocodiles, which I don't like the sound of at all. This one, obviously not deep. This one, not murky. Later on, there might be one that's up to knees or even waist deep. So not sure how that'll go. We could watch Katie here. Hopefully she doesn't fall in with her pack on. I don't know where she's gonna go next. But my plan is to come right down here by the ocean. I'm too lazy to take my shoes off. See if I can get around this way. Like so. Now I have a big jump. Down there, yep. Yeah. High fives. Good morning everyone, it is morning time and we heard what you can hear right now all night long. It has not stopped raining, things are still pretty bleak out there. So we're going to cook some breakfast and hit the trail. see what day 2 brings for us. Here we are on the move, on the beach again. Highlight, it is not actually raining right now, so we had breakfast under our tarp, a couple of coffees, lots of chatting with everyone else who was in camp. One of the really rad things about this island, it's pretty enormous, has mountains, biggest mountain in Queensland, obviously crocodiles, lots of beaches, lots of wild places. There are only 40 people on this island allowed at any one time. So the permitting is really strict, you have to book really far in advance. So for the entire island, all the wilderness, there are only 40 people. This is what we basically have to explore. Absolutely incredible. Let's see what comes next. Now things are about to get interesting. We're heading towards Fern Swamp. And if you've got any questions about what a swamp might look like, this is only the very beginning. We are not there yet. And currently we're just hugging the edge, trying to keep our feet dry. But we're wondering how long should we even bother before we just give up. I can see there's a ton of mangroves there. This is all obviously tidal, and given how much rain there's been and how much is still to come, I don't expect our feet are going to stay dry for very long. So you can see now we are in the Mangrove Swamp. And so this will all be tidal, and the only thing that grows in here are these weird looking mango trees, mangrove. You can see there's nothing growing on the ground, there's no grass or anything like that, because all of this would be under salt water when the tide comes in, or a little bit anyway. And I'm just looking, check out this guy, these are really rad. This kind of big fern thing, look at the teeth it has on each one of its little spiny things. It's the usual story in one direction, it doesn't feel sharp at all, but if I run my hand the other way, it's definitely going to grab me, and it's going to grab my clothes. And this is what we're contending with now. This is what the trail looks like. So onwards and onwards through the mangrove swamp. Fingers crossed there's no crocodiles in here. I'm not a crocodile expert, but there's plenty of warning signs around, and this is tidal. So we're not going to hang around here for too long. And even though there's some delicious looking swimming holes nearby that would just be incredible to wash off right now, that is a no-go. It's a bit of a thing. Crocodiles just add to the excitement.
No crocodiles.
Yeah. Wow, I thought it was swampy before. Now this is real tidal swampy. Look at all the exposed roots of these trees and stuff. Looks like we're on another planet in here. Again, fingers crossed there's no stinking crocodiles up in here. There's not too much we can do if there is. We're just kind of keeping our eyes out, sticking together. But it's funny, they don't even really give you much info. Are we supposed to make lots of noise? Like, can we even scare them away? Well, because they're predators, does that just kind of tell them that we're here and then they're gonna stay hidden and leap out at us when they can? Who would know? Just arrived at our next beach camp. This place looks incredible. The weather has actually been pretty kind today. You can see the mountains peeking out in the background there. We're going to camp in here somewhere. And just chatting to some ladies who hiked in yesterday and they kind of had a rest day today. There's a creek right here, a river. We're going to go up and swim in the waterfall. They said there is confirmed a crocodile in the river right here, right by camp. They said do not go by the water, especially at night. So we'll see if we can see her, this apparently female crocodile. We'll see if we can see it later, but I'm not getting close. So check it out, we just walked up from camp and that is Zoe Waterfall. This is actually the same river that has that confirmed crocodile in it. But because we're upstream, we're above a whole bunch of rapids, a whole bunch of other falls and stuff, we don't have to worry about crocs in theory. Everyone else swims here all the time, there's never been a problem. So of course, we're about to go swimming in this plunge pool at Zoe Falls. Talk about incredible. Good morning everyone, what a fine morning it is. This is our current situation. We're just cooking some coffee, we're making some breakfast, we're gonna have oats for breakfast. As you can see, the rain is coming down and it's been coming down most of the night. And there's a little bit of concern about how high the rivers are going to be today for crossing. There's actually a boat coming today to this campsite on the beach and he's gonna take a bunch of people out who have decided the rivers are gonna be too high. So things are about to get really interesting and we hope for the best. Fingers crossed, here we go. Day number 3 begins. Check it out, we just found this. Australia never ceases to amaze. On the trail here is a worm. Have a look how big this thing is. Let's get close. There's the worm. And he's basically exactly the same length as my size 13 shoe. So this worm is fully a foot long. Not actually like thick diameter wise, but he's definitely pretty long.
Hey everybody, so we've gotten to our last camp. We got here a few hours ago now, I guess. We actually went down to the waterfall, which was super beautiful, went for a little swim, and we're about to make Thanksgiving dinner, which is always really exciting. Tomorrow's our last day, but we got an updated weather forecast today, and we heard it's gonna absolutely thump rain overnight, about 6 centimeters, so a couple inches, starting at midnight. And so you can see behind us, we've brought with us a guide's tarp. So great handy trick if you're out in the backcountry and you're expecting some rain. You can use it as a shelter, you can use it as a ground sheet. And this has been absolutely wonderful because we've packed up a dry tent every single night this trip, which is such a relief. So here we are, prepared for the rain any moment and very hungry for dinner.
Good morning everyone, morning of day 4. As predicted, it started thumping rain at about midnight. It hasn't stopped raining since. We're pretty well wet through. Time to hit the trail. We just packed up camp. We've come down to have a look at the waterfall. We have to cross this creek again later today, and it's come up about a foot overnight. So that rock over there that's just out of the water, we swam over to that yesterday and it was more than a foot out of the water. And you can see this is Mulligan Waterfall in the distance. We are getting sopping wet, partly from the rain and partly from the spray off that waterfall. It is going nuts right now. We have 4 or so regular river crossings, and then this one down on the beach, which could be tidal, which could have crocodiles, and which could be pretty deep and serious. Time to hit the trail. We also have a schedule to keep to make it for low tide and to get on the boat that's going to get us out of here. So we threw everything in our packs as best as we could, and now we're on the trail. You can see just how much it is raining. Yeah, I'm pretty happy this is the last day. Our sleeping bags aren't wet, but basically everything else is. You can see the trail right now. It's going to be slippery. There's a lot of tree roots to trip over. Here we go. This starts to feel like adventure now. Still fine. Not exactly the kind of sign you want to see when you just burst out onto the beach from the jungle, and we know we have a pretty deep tidal river crossing coming. I can't see it yet, and obviously I can't see a crocodile, but here's our new hiking reality. Down the beach we go, something like 5 kilometers to go to our boat that's going to get us out of here. So there we go, we just crossed Mulligan Creek, which was kind of the crux of this whole enterprise. It is pretty much low tide right now, so that's very much in our favor. We crossed it right down by the ocean. It was only about a foot deep. But you can see up in here beside me, this is all mangrovey, and I can count 1, 2, 3 crocodile recent sighting warning signs from where we are right now. So to go and mess around up in there, that I think would be a very, very bad idea. And I'm really happy that we just got across that one safely. And now we're almost done. Now we have a few more kilometers, I don't know, 40 minutes or something to go. And we'll be at the pickup point for the boat. Fingers crossed there's no crocodiles between here and there. So there we go, everyone. After about another 45 minutes down the beach, we have arrived at George's Point, which is the end of our time here on Hinchinbrook Island. We're just gonna wait for the boat to come and pick us up, and we're all done. Luckily, because I'm about soaking wet to the bone, I am ready to go and eat some hot food, hot shower. It's been an incredible time on the island. Happily, we didn't see any crocodiles. We didn't have to contend with any crocodiles, which I think is a big victory. And we stayed pretty dry. Our tent on the inside now is a bit wet, but sleeping bags and our sleeping clothes and all of that are still dry, the important stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed the random adventure. And thanks again for coming along. If you did enjoy it, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. So many more adventures to come here in Australia. As we head up to the northern tip, things are about to get very wild and very remote. I hope you'll join us for that. So until next time, have fun out there, and maybe we'll bump into you on the road.